Sunday afternoon, we welcome you to T-Mobile Park, the home of the Seattle Mariners, as we have the final game of a three-game series. The Astros kicking off a three-city road trip here in Seattle. So far, so good. Houston winning 10-6 on Friday. Last night, a 3-1 victory. This afternoon, they will go for the sweep against Seattle, and some Astros fans in the house as well up here in the Pacific Northwest. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Todd Callis alongside Mike Stanton. Glad you could join us for an afternoon of Astros baseball. And, Mike, they have continued after a great homestand, a 6-0 homestand, a chance to sweep the Seattle team that was red hot coming in.
You know, these guys are playing such good baseball, really in all aspects. Last night, Justin Verlander was incredible. Offense has been great, especially in this winning streak.
They really have. And Seattle came in with a 13-2 record. They had scored going into last night 6 runs or more, 14 of 16 games until they ran into this guy, Justin Verlander. This could be the playoff formula for the Astros in the 2019 postseason. Verlander on the hill, probably will get the ball for the first game. He was outstanding last night. 6 innings of 2-hit, 1-run baseball, did not walk a batter, and struck out 11. Then they turn it over. Will Harris in the 7th. Ryan Presley continues his scoreless streak. He's now to 27 consecutive outings without allowing a run. And then it was Roberto Osuna who came on for his second save of the series. It has been fun to watch the back end of this bullpen.
Quietly, the bullpen, especially the back end, in Presley and Osuna, have become, well, one of the best combinations in all of baseball. Both big-time power pitchers. Osuna, even though he is very young, in his early 20s, you're talking about a guy that really changes speeds well, and just raw power stuff from Ryan Presley with the fastball and the curveball. These guys have been outstanding, next to unhittable, and you gotta love a back end of a bullpen that does not walk anybody when they come into a ballgame.
Been fun to watch as the Astros go for a 3rd consecutive series sweep and 9 wins in a row. Gerrit Cole on the mound. He'll be making his 4th start of the season. We'll see how Coltrane fares here in Seattle. The Astros going streaking. Both Jose Altuve and George Springer trying to continue streaks. And so far, the beginning of 2019 looks very similar to the 2017 first 15 games. We'll show you numbers comparing those 2 years.
Welcome back. Astros Mariners, game 3 of this 3-game series coming up. Astros fans hoping to see them go for the sweep today, complete the sweep today over Seattle. They're coming in as one of the hottest teams, the hottest team in baseball, I should say, with that 8-game win streak. Feeling pretty good about the way they've been getting things done. We saw last night the win behind Justin Verlander, who pitched great, and the offense doing just enough, but still hitting the ball the way that they'd like to be doing it. They know that if they continue to do that, they're going to turn it into some more wins or extend this hitting streak, winning streak. But what they've done so far, pretty impressive. The get out and play presented by Toyota. You got to start with Jose Altuve, who's homered in his last 5 games. So the slugging percentage is definitely up for the team thanks to that guy and some other guys. Seen it out of the park. How about the 325 batting average for this club? Almost 400 OBP. All those stats, the best in the league right now during this streak. And for number 9, they've got to get to Marco Gonzalez, the lefty, who's off to a really nice start. Sets up for a good one on this Sunday afternoon, TK.
I hope so, Julia. It should be fun. We're going to wrap up your birthday weekend, hopefully with a series sweep. And here's how A.J. Hinch will line things up against the lefty Marco Gonzalez. George Springer has reached base in every game this year, followed by Jose Altuve. You know about his streak. Alex Bregman back in there at third base. Michael Brantley bats cleanup in left field. Carlos Correa slots in the 5 spot. Yuli Gurriel bats 6th and plays first base. Aledmys Diaz gets his first start of the series. He'll bat 7th. Max Stassi also his first start of the series, batting 8th. Tony Kemp, also his first start of the series. He will bat 9th.
27-year-old left-hander Marco Gonzalez getting the start for the Seattle Mariners. He's making his 5th start of the season, 4-0 with a 3.16 ERA. He's been a little bit better here at home at T-Mobile Park with just a ERA just over 2.5. He's going to really mix and match his pitches. Fastball, cutter, curveball, changeup against those righties. Going to use that changeup as his out pitch. It's one of the reasons why AJ's got a couple left-handers in there trying to nullify that changeup.
So we're ready for baseball on a Sunday afternoon. Glad he could join us. Great sports day for those of you back in Houston. You've got, of course, the Masters this morning, followed by Astros and Mariners. Houston going for their 9th straight win. And then the Rockets tonight, all on AT&T Sportsnet. Make sure you stay with us throughout the afternoon and evening. George, as you can see, has reached base in all 15 games. He has 12 career home runs here in Seattle, which is good for third on the active list behind a couple of Angels, Mike Trout and Albert Pujols. Facing Marco Gonzalez, the lefty delivers. The first pitch is a strike. Gonzalez in 4 starts this year. 2 in the month of March, a perfect 4-0. Ground ball towards short. The second baseman there in the shift, D. Gordon, makes the play and gets George by a step to start this game. Defensively, behind Gonzalez today. In the outfield, it'll be Domingo Santana, Mitch Haniger, and Jay Bruce. The infield has Dylan Moore at third base today alongside Tim Beckham. D. Gordon, who just made that play on Springer on the right side, along with Edwin Encarnacion and Omar Narvaez, is behind the plate. This was a Seattle team struggling defensively coming into this series, but at least in these 2 games they've made the play.
Yeah, they've played pretty well. It looks like they're really settling into the season, but it's been really about their offense.
Altuve sends one high in the air to center field, and that's where Haniger is today. And Altuve retired on 1 pitch, 2 away. Gonzalez is not going to be a guy who throws very hard, but he will try and keep you off balance with that cutter and the mix of fastball changeup.
Well, even though he's 27 years old, he's figured out what he needs to do to get guys out, and that means he's got to mix it up really from the first batter of the game. We saw the ground ball from Springer. That was on the changeup. That is a devastating pitch to the right-handers. It's the breaking ball. It's the curveball against the lefties.
Here's Alex Bregman. You can see his numbers against Marco. That includes a double in that 4 for 6. Alex had an 8-game hitting streak snap last night as he takes a called strike. Bregman back in there at third base after missing a couple of games. Missed the opener of this series and the finale of the Yankees series. Pitch down low. It's 1-1. Astros continue to play great baseball here at T-Mobile Park, formerly Safeco Field. They were 7-2 and 7-3 the last 2 years, 14-5 combined, and they've won the first 2 of the 2019 season. Alex fouls one back. It's 1-2.
Today's scouting report is presented by your local Greater Houston Honda dealers. And you can see, really doesn't have a primary pitch that he tries to throw strikes with. It's really a mix and match of everything. Fastball and cutter are really what he tries to get ahead with. Curve and changeup are the pitches that he likes to go to late in the count to get the hitters out.
And a called third strike on Bregman as he is frozen for the last out of the inning. Gonzalez picks up his first strikeout and a 1-2-3 inning today.
20-year-old right-hander last time out against the Yankees gave up 3 runs on 4 hits in 7 innings. Big-time power stuff. High 90s fastballs, got power breaking stuff. You can see opponents really don't like to face him with a 183 batting average. He's pitched well in this venue just last year.
Here's the lineup for the Seattle Mariners today. Mitch Haniger will lead things off in center field, followed by Domingo Santana. Daniel Vogelback is the DH. Edwin Encarnacion back in the lineup. He is the cleanup hitter. Jay Bruce in right. Tim Beckham off to a hot start. The shortstop bats 6. Omar Narvaez, D. Gordon, and Dylan Moore makes his first start of this 3-game set against the Astros. Gerrit ready to go. Shift on against Haniger, and Mitch sends one the other way and fouls one out of play. Haniger riding a 5-game hitting streak coming into today. 278 on the year and tied for the most extra base hits in the American League with a dozen. A little overcast, slightly cooler today than the previous night. In fact, every night we've had a 3-degree lower temperature in this series. 56 for the first pitch temperature on Friday, 53 last night.
Well, that's a good thing we're leaving.
It is. 50 today. Hopefully it warms up a little as the afternoon continues, but doesn't look like the sun's going to be out for a while, if at all. 1-1 the count to Haniger. A little tapper near the plate and bounces foul. It's 1-2. Cole has pitched 3 times this year, still looking for his first win. He has gone at least 6 innings in all 3 of his starts. And he's allowed 1 earned run, 3 earned runs, and 3 earned runs. Basically, he has the same numbers as Marco Gonzalez, who's 4-0, but has nothing to show for it in the win column.
Yeah, offense really hasn't picked him up. He's actually thrown the ball well, and against the Yankees, just 4 hits in 7 innings, but there were 3 runs with those 4 hits.
Haniger hits one deep to left field, and Haniger has started this game with a home run. On top of the relievers hut there in the Astros bullpen, Haniger hits his 2nd home run of the series. The Mariners have now hit a home run in every game this year, 18 in a row to start the year, which continues to extend their major league record. It's 1-0.
Well, we'll take a look at the strike zone right here presented by MD Anderson. It's going to be a curveball right down the middle. You can see Haniger just simply did not miss it. Almost looked like he was sitting on an off-speed pitch, and Cole gave him one he can handle.
Haniger's 7th career home run against the Houston Astros. That'll bring up Domingo Santana. Santana misses and down on the count 0-2. Santana facing Cole in the National League. Santana with the Brewers, Cole with the Pirates in the NL Central. He's 5 for 16 in his career. Domingo spent parts of 2 years with the Astros, 2014 and 15. Played in 20 games for Houston in those years and had 56 at-bats, a couple of home runs. Then moved to Milwaukee, where he faced Cole prior, and Gerrit wins this matchup as Santana goes down swinging. First strikeout and first out of the game for Gerrit Cole.
Yeah, that's a pitch we don't see Gerrit throw very often. That's the changeup. You see the little fade down and in. But that was not just a nice pitch. That was nice location after going fastball.
Going to bring up Daniel Vogelbach. Vogelbach fouls the first pitch away. Last 8 games, this guy is hitting .483 with 6 home runs and 11 runs batted in.
All right, here's a look at the shift presented by Geico. You can see they feel like Vogelbach's definitely going to pull the ball. If he hits the ball on the ground, it's pull. Actually, it looks like he's hit the ball, if he pulls it, all the time in the air or on the ground.
Down in the count here, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So, Todd, with that home run by Haniger, that's 18 games in a row to start a season, which is a major league record. They just extended that record with that home run.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Cole has back-to-back strikeouts. He gets Daniel Vogelbach, the hot hitter, for the 2nd out.
Here's our Mattress Firm Supermo. Looks like he went with the slider down and in. And Vogelbach, having to respect that high velocity fastball from Gerrit Cole, just swings right over the top. He's a low ball hitter. That doesn't mean you can't throw the ball low. It just means you have to go below the zone low, and that's exactly what Gerrit did.
Now Gerrit facing Edwin Encarnacion, playing first base today. The 36-year-old now in Seattle. You see 30 home runs or more for the last 7 years. He's actually averaged during that stretch 37.5 home runs and 109 RBIs for 7 years.
He has turned into a very good hitter. I was privileged enough to play with him back at the beginning of his career in Cincinnati, and he was basically a utility player.
To short, Correa takes his time, throws out Encarnacion after a leadoff home run. Cole bounces back to get the next 3.
Faith and Family Night presented by Chick-fil-A Houston returns to Minute Maid Park on Saturday, April 27th as the Astros take on the Cleveland Indians. Join us post-game as we welcome Christian artist Matthew West to the stage. Group and individual tickets are still available for this family event, so visit astros.com/faith for more details. Astros going for their 3rd consecutive 3-game sweep today, and they're trying not to look too far ahead as they continue through this win streak. They are feeling good about the way that they're playing baseball right now, but just trying to win every game as it comes along. And A.J. Hinch saying today that it really starts with just winning the first game of the series, and then you give yourself an opportunity to win the series, which is something he preaches all year long to these guys. It's all about just winning series throughout the season. At the end, you'll find yourself in a pretty good place, and that's what they've been doing. But pretty cool opportunity here as they try to sweep once again. These are teams that they want to be, especially within the division. These are three really good teams that they've taken care of, TK.
You're right about that, Julie. You've got the two teams on the last homestand, Oakland and the New York Yankees, last year's American League wildcard teams. The A's winning 97 games, the Yankees winning 100. Sweeping them in that 6-0 homestand. And then you come in here, and the Seattle team was 13-2 and just rolling along until they lost the first two games to the Astros.
Yeah, just hottest team in Major League Baseball. I mean, not even close.
Brantley the other way, shoots a base hit past Tim Beckham in the left field. Michael Brantley down in the count 0-2 with a base hit to start the second.
Well, this is one of the reasons why Michael Brantley's in there against the left-hander, is he has the ability to hit the ball the opposite way. Actually, against lefties, he does it even more than against right-handers. And just a nice compact swing. Didn't try and do too much. Driving the ball through the left side of the infield. So what was AJ was saying about, winning the first game and then winning the series in the second game, that's something he's preached since he's become a manager. Or for a manager for the Astros, which is, you love streaks. You love winning streaks. But what he wants more than anything else is consistency and winning series.
Astros losing the first two series of the year, now winning the next three. Starting out 2-5 and now riding that 8-game win streak to a 10-5 mark. Correa with a 1-0 count takes one upstairs. It's 2-0. Carlos coming in batting .311, a couple of home runs on the season. OPS is a very healthy .925 for Carlos this year. Despite the 3-1 game last night, these are the two best offenses in the American League so far this year. The Astros a slightly better batting average than the Mariners coming in. The Mariners the best in on-base percentage and slugging percentage in the AL. The Astros number 2 in both those categories. Gonzalez, 27 years old, from Fort Collins, Colorado, went to Gonzaga. Faced the Astros twice last year, did not have much success against Houston. Both times pitching here in Seattle. First start lasted 4 2/3 innings, allowed 3 runs. He did strike out 8 in that outing on April 19th of last year. And then faced them back here in August on the 22nd and allowed 8 runs on 11 hits and 3+ innings. Outside, ball 4. Carlos Correa draws the walk. Something Marco Gonzalez usually is very good at is limiting the walks. He was 4th last year in the American League in walks per 9, but he walks Correa and putting runners on first and second with nobody out.
That's one of the reasons why he's had success this year, is that he hasn't walked anybody. But if you also notice, he really, since he doesn't have the velocity, he really doesn't try and stay on the plate. He's going to feast off of the hitter's aggressiveness by throwing the ball on the corner or just off.
Yuli comes in riding a 4-game hitting streak. He's a perfect 3 for 3 against Gonzalez in his career with a double. And he takes a pitch for a strike.
The first pitch breaking ball, borderline outside corner, but that's where Marco Gonzalez is going to live. You see the little white box? He wants to throw the ball on the box all the way around that strike zone.
Yuli shoots one to right field. Jay Bruce comes in, and now he moves back slightly, tagging nicely and advancing to third is Michael Brantley. Yuli hit the ball hard, but he's out number 1. It's now 1st and 3rd with 1 away.
And that was one of the pitches that he got inside the box, not on the line, and Yuli hit that ball hard. Here's that pitch, supposed to be inside, and you can see Navarre's having to reach back to his right, which means onto the plate. Yuli hit it hard, but just happened to be right at Jay Bruce in right field.
So 1st and 3rd with 1 away, and the designated hitter, Aledmys Diaz, will bat. Diaz facing his former teammate Marco Gonzalez, came over from the Cardinals in a trade. July 21st of 2017, so they were together in St. Louis. Now facing each other for the first time. Actually, Diaz has seen him with the Blue Jays, but still looking for his first hit against Marco. He chops one towards third. They're going to go to second, and they go around the horn for a double play to end the inning. So the Astros fail to score in that first and third one-out situation. It's still 1-0 Seattle.
Performance is powered by Kubota. We'll take a look at Gerrit Cole and the 3 starts here at, well, last year it was Safeco, now it's T-Mobile Park. Just outstanding in those 3 starts. See the sub-2 ERA, but the slugging percentage under 300 is just outstanding. So the hits that he did give up, what that means is he gave up singles. And if I remember correctly, there weren't even very many of them.
Yeah, he pitched 3 times, went 18 2/3 innings in those 3 starts and allowed 16 hits. His strikeouts basically 1 per inning during that time. Well, Gerrit did not get a lot of run support in those games and went 1-2 last year despite a sub-3 ERA in 4 starts against Seattle. Similar to this year, as Jay Bruce has started the inning with a 1-1 count. Astros scored 2 in the game Gerrit started at Tampa Bay. They didn't score at all against the Rangers in his second start. And then while they got 6 in his third start, 3 of them came after he was out of the game after 7 innings. They scored 3 on the Yankees in the 8th inning in that 6-3 win. And the Astros had an opportunity in that second inning, but a double play ending the inning. And Gerrit has started out this inning by falling behind Jay Bruce 3-1. Fastball there at 95. Gerrit's been sitting around 93, 94, now 95 today. Guy who normally is around 96, 97 with that fastball. That was a good firm fastball at the upper part of the zone. And he comes back and gets him with 96. So Cole falls behind and then goes fastball to strike out Jay Bruce.
Yeah, that's been the book on Jay Bruce since he came into the league. He's up there to swing the bat, but has a tough time getting on top of the high fastball, especially with any kind of velocity. You know, you were talking about Gerrit Cole's velocity today, that it seems to be ticking up just a little bit, but to me he doesn't look quite comfortable on the mound. I don't know if it's the nice cool weather or whatever, but you know, he is one of those guys that if you're going to get him, a lot like Justin Verlander, if you're going to get him, you better get him early, because once he gets into the flow of the game and kind of gets good and loose out there, he can be very tough.
Yeah, to your point, in that last at bat, first fastball to Jay Bruce at 92, next one 93.3, then 95.3, 96.2. So he kept ramping up the velocity as that at bat went along. Tim Beckham fouls one back to the screen. It's 1-1. Beckham has had a good start to the season. You see his numbers, 339. He's also fared well in his 16 games against the Astros in his career. He's hit in 15 of those and has a 356 career mark against Houston. Little punch shot into center field. That's going to drop in for a hit. Not hit hard by Beckham, but dropped into center field. He's a 1-out base runner.
Yeah, that bat went down a hero. 95-mile-an-hour fastball that he was able to basically just hit it off his thumbs and got it over the infield center field. That just shows his strength. You know, executed the pitch. Look where Matt Stassi set up. Set up on the inside part of the plate. He hit the glove. But Tim Beckham with a little better job at hitting and showing good strength to get it over the infield.
Omar Narvaez bats 1 on, 1 out.
Now, I will tell you, do not tell me to tip my cap if I'm pitching. I execute my pitch, I hit my spot, I get the weak contact, and it's still a hit. Yeah, I'm still mad.
Yeah, I get you. You like to think those breaks even out, but they don't always seem to. It depends on the day. Cole doesn't seem to have any luck this year. It seems like everything he's done, if it could go against him, whether it was Ron Kulpa's strike zone or other issues during the course of the year, he has not had a lot of good fortune on his side in 2019.
No, and he doesn't usually show a lot of motion on the field. But there in Arlington, he got upset with Ron Kolpa, and he let him have it after he had come out of the game. I think it was the 6th inning. He was walking off.
Well, they had a running conversation for a few innings,
right,
and then it kind of boiled over at the end of his outing.
And there were some pitches in there, and Gerrit was upset about that, but it was more about Ron Kolpa shortening his warm-up pitches in between innings.
Well, I think we also caught one inning, too, where Gerrit was walking back to the dugout, and Kolpa said something to him, and I think that was where Gerrit's like not real thrilled with that situation either. And since then, that's the last game the Astros lost.
So it didn't just tick Gerrit Cole off, it ticked the whole team off.
Team's been very good since then, swinging and miss. Narvaez misses the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. That's more like the Gerrit we know.
Yeah, and I think more than them getting focused or whatever on the negativity coming out of that game, I think it was the off day and them coming home. They got that off day, got a chance to clear their minds, step back, sleep in their own beds. Ever since then, it's been a different team.
See Gerrit wearing the long sleeves today. We've seen most of the pitchers for the Astros in this cool weekend series go short sleeves.
Yeah.
Not a lot of pitchers feel comfortable in the long sleeve. How about you?
You know, I kind of went back and forth. If it was the right type of sleeves, and listen, you can go through five or six different manufacturers trying to find the right fit. But, we saw Justin Verlander with no sleeves on yesterday. He's a guy that he just doesn't like to wear sleeves. So it's really personal preference. But, you would think, just put sleeves on. It's not that easy. You have to be comfortable. If they don't fit quite right, you're just not going to throw the ball right.
Swing and a miss. Throw by Stassi. Strike him out, throw him out. Double play. Beckham caught stealing after the strikeout of Narvaez. And that's how the second inning will end. Poll for the afternoon, and this one is a video enhancement. Which is your favorite Astros catch through the years? Carlos Correa as a rookie shortstop, just a couple of weeks in to his rookie season here in Seattle. Jake Marisnick going up and over Josh Reddick. That catch at Minute Maid Park last year. That's choice B. Choice C.
The Puma.
The Puma. Lance Berkman up on Towles Hill in 2002. The Correa catch on the line drive A. The Marisnick catch B. The Berkman catch C. Send your pick to @AT&T Sportsnet SW.
That was the late, maybe not so great Towles Hill.
I thought pitchers liked Towles Hill. It's because it maybe would have been a home run now.
Well, yeah, what was it, 426 feet, something like that, to get it over Towles Hill?
Max Stassi will lead things off in the third for the Astros, down 1-0. It'll be Stassi, Tony Kemp, then the top of the order, George Springer. Stassi fouls one back and is falling behind Marco Gonzalez 0-2.
But what I like about all of them were the reactions afterwards. Marisnick being all pumped up with Josh Reddick, and then just the smile from Lance.
The incline in center field. Breaking ball, it's 1-2. Max 1 for 14 to start the year. Base hit to right field in that last homestand for Max's first hit.
I think that hit had damage on it too, didn't it? Did he give RBI? No RBIs.
Down and in. It's 2-2 to Stassi. Gonzalez, as you would imagine, will probably be about 2/3 strikes to balls, if not better. Right now, 15 of 23 strikes. And he strikes out Stassi here. That's 2 for Marco Gonzalez and 1 away in the third.
Believe it or not, Todd, that's about where most pitching coaches want their starting pitchers, somewhere around the 65 to 67% strikes. You don't want somebody to go out there and throw strikes all the time, because those are the pitches that get hit.
Right.
You need to be able to throw the ball out of the zone when you want to, and that's where that average comes in.
Now Gonzalez will face Tony Kemp. Kemp, a couple of at-bats against Gonzalez, is 2 for 2. Takes one outside for a ball. Both of Gonzalez's strikeouts today have been on the cutter. Got Alex Bregman looking the first, and Max Stassi swinging to start this inning. Kemp with a 2-0 count. Tony on the year 4 for 22, including a home run. And a 3-0 count. We mentioned it's unusual for Gonzalez to walk many, and he walked Correa in the last inning. It's especially unusual for him to walk a lefty. Just 3 walks against lefty hitters on 121 plate appearances last year. Delivers a strike to Kemp. It's now 3-1. Tony's a guy that's not afraid to work a deep count. He'll be very particular about this 3-1 pitch as well.
Yeah, not afraid to go with 2 strikes either. So he's going to really keyhole this pitch right here by Marcos Estrada. Gonzalez, excuse me.
Down and away, ball 4. Kemp draws that rare walk issued by Gonzalez to a lefty. No Player Does More is presented by HEB. George Springer, Jose Altuve are streaking lately. Altuve with 6 home runs has hit a home run in his last 5 games. Great numbers during the winning streak. And then George Springer continues to be an on-base machine.
Really dialing up the long ball have the Astros been doing, led by these 3. There have been a lot of celebrations. There have been a lot of celebrations in that Astros dugout. Springer just flew out to center. But that's really what the difference has been. You know, the pitching has been good all season. Even those first 2 series that the Astros lost on the road, pitching was still very solid. But it's really been the offense since they came home that this streak started, and that's what's really turned this thing around for them so far.
.325 batting average during the 8-game winning streak with 16 home runs and a .967 OPS. Here's Jose Altuve. 2 outs, Kemp on first. Altuve flied out his first time up on the first pitch. Jose, in addition to that home run streak, has a dozen RBIs in his last 8 games. He's now up to 13 on the year. He's tied for 5th in the AL in RBIs and tied for 2nd with Jay Bruce in home runs, just trailing the A's Chris Davis. Round to bunt, and bunts one foul. Other than that, the home run hitter looking to try and reach base here with 2 outs. There's only been one Astro in their history to hit a home run in 6 consecutive games. That was Morgan Ensberg, who did it in 2006. Altuve, Ensberg, Cliff Johnson, and Carlos Beltran. Johnson in 75 and Beltran in 04. They have all hit home runs in 5 straight. Altuve already more than half.
Why you got Cliff Johnson in a black and white photo? 1975 is not that old. It's not that long ago.
Altuve more than halfway to his total of last year when he hit 13. And we're just not even 10% into the season. Today is the 10% mark, basically. Game 16 of 162.
Yeah, and it's crazy what happens when a player is just healthy. And that's really what it was last year. The people in the dugout knew what Jose Altuve was going through. We didn't.
Backhanded nicely by Dylan Moore. The throw across in time. Good play by the Mariners' third baseman as he snares a hard hit ground ball by Altuve for the final out.
Presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We're going to take you back to the homestand for the Houston Astros Wednesday. Gertrude. You might remember Gertrude. We spent some time talking about her. It was her 101st birthday. This is Brent Strom's mother-in-law, her favorite player, Altuve. She threw at the first pitch to him, got to meet him, got to give him a little pep talk that day as well. And if you remember, he had just hit his 100th home run. So on that day, after meeting Gertrude, he hit 101 and 102. And he has continued to hit homers in each game since. Now, a follow-up on that, Stromy, talking to him last night, Gertrude still watching the game, she very much thinks that she is a part of this incredible streak. Her pep talk, doing some huge things for Altuve and this club. But again, happy birthday to Gertrude. Your birthday gift just keeps on keeping on here with the Astros.
How about that as Dee Gordon pops one into shallow center field and Tony Kemp comes in to make the play. Now, Julia, Friday night, 7 o'clock start here, 9 o'clock start Central Time. Altuve didn't hit his home run until the 6th inning. So you're telling me Gertrude's up at around like 11:30 midnight?
She doesn't miss a game.
Yes. I love it.
Hey, you know what? You get north of the century mark, you can claim anything you want. Bless her heart. That was awesome.
We might need a pep talk from Gertrude.
I know. Gertrude magic.
Here's Dylan Moore taking a called strike. Moore getting his first at bat of this series. Made his big league debut in Japan against the Oakland A's. First year with the Mariners. Had spent some time with Texas, Atlanta, and Milwaukee in their minor league systems. Now making his first opening day roster. He's behind Gerrit Cole, 0-2 here. Cole's allowed 2 hits, a leadoff home run by Mitch Haniger, and a single flared into center by Tim Beckham. Last inning, we saw that velocity ramp up for Gerrit as the inning progressed. He started out the inning by throwing to Jay Bruce around 92-93, finished that at bat 95-96, and then ended the inning against Narvaez 97-98. Cole seems to be getting into his rhythm as this game goes along. He's 1-2 here on Dylan Moore.
And that's something that I think on occasion is done on purpose. If you throw the same pitch, the same velocity all the time, hitters are going to have a better chance of squaring it up.
Called third strike, breaks one over on the outside corner. That's Gerrit's 4th strikeout, 2 away in the 3rd.
But if you move the ball around, not just location, but also give and take. This is a curveball by Gerrit right on the corner. There's just not a whole lot you can do. When a guy's throwing upper 90s, he drops an 82-mile-an-hour hook on the outside corner. You just take your beating and go back to the dugout.
Then you can tip your cap. Here's Haniger.
But what I was saying about the variation in the fastball velocity, I had a pitching coach, Rick Peterson, back when I was with the Mets. If you had a max velocity of, let's say, 94, and you had a minimum velocity on, let's say, your curveball of 75, if you pitched a substantial amount of innings, he wanted every mile an hour in between there hit with something, so that you're not just out there, throwing your max effort fastball every single time and hitting that same number.
Pulls the string on Haniger there. It's 0-2.
We've seen a couple pretty good changeups today.
Really nice Cole changeups today.
And usually that's a pitch that he reserves for left-handers. He's throwing a couple to right-handers today.
Haniger was able to hit a curveball out his first time up. Gerrit last year led Major League Baseball in strikeouts per 9. This ball is just fouled down the right field side.
All right, here's our StatCast AI powered by AWS, and we're looking at the spray chart. You see why the Astros, even with 2 strikes, still have the shift on, expecting Haniger to pull the ball on the ground. This right-handed shift, this is something that was a lot slower to develop in Major League Baseball than the left-handed shift, and it's still not nearly as prevalent. But the statistics show, the same things to right-handers as they do left-handers. It's just a little bit harder because of, you got to keep your first baseman all the way over to first base to be able to cover the bag. It's just not as easy to shift to the left as it is shifting to the right.
Right, because your third baseman can play further off the bag than your first baseman. We are seeing a lot of righty shifts for sure. And Haniger now with a count of 1-2. Haniger with his 13th extra base hit, his first time up. Has 5 home runs, 7 doubles, and a triple. Nobody has more in the American League. It's 2-2. Gerrit coming into today had 25 strikeouts in 19 innings of work. And has 4 of his 8 outs today via the strikeout. 3 swinging and 1 called third strike. The last batter, Dylan Moore. Haniger, a good take, and all of a sudden what was an 0-2 count is now 3-2. Shoots one to left. Long run for Brantley, and that ball's going to be down and bounces in play. Brantley gets it out of the corner. Haniger another extra base hit. Now 14 on the year as he picks up double number 8 on the season.
We were discussing it yesterday, how I felt like this is probably the best player that Seattle has, even though he's very young, in Mitch Haniger. After the first pitch curveball, this is a changeup that's in off the plate. You see the sideways spin, but he's able to keep this fair, not hook it foul, which is not easy to do, especially on an off-speed pitch.
So now Cole will face Domingo Santana. Santana struck out his first time up. Domingo leads all of baseball with 24 hits. And also leads all of baseball with 22 runs batted in. So he and Clay Bellinger are tied for the major league lead.
So I kind of thought that Cole was kind of pitching Haniger, kind of tentatively. He was really throwing a lot of off-speed pitches to him, a couple 3 changeups just in that at bat alone. Not really wanting to give him a fastball that he could handle.
Called strike. It's 2-1. Cole threw 3 sliders and 3 changeups to Haniger in that at bat. A couple of 2-seam fastballs as well. There's a ball ripped into left field for a hit and another RBI. Santana drives in Haniger, and the Mariners lead this game 2-0.
That was another changeup from Cole, righty on right, and we just don't see that very often. We've seen it several times today. This one he got down and in to Sanchez, actually pretty good location. But Santana doing a better job of just getting the barrel of the bat to the ball. And that is something he did a lot as a Pittsburgh Pirate. 2-seam fastballs, changeups to right-handers. Last year we saw very few of both of those pitches all season long to those right-handed hitters.
Here's Vogelback. Takes one upstairs for ball 1. Santana now with 25 hits and 23 runs batted in. Vogelback struck out his first time up. There's a fastball for a strike. In the curve, counts 2-2.
Vogelbach didn't really like that. Let's take a look and see if this one got back to the plate. Might have been just off, pretty close, but might have been just off. And Gerrit Cole gets the call on the corner.
We'll go back 2 more hits last night, coming in batting .424 on the year, and Gerrit gets him for the second time, swinging. Well, Cole finishes the inning with a strikeout. He now has 5, but the Mariners add to their lead. It's now 2-0. By GulloAuto.com. Cool Sunday afternoon here in Seattle, Washington. Astros fans on hand at T-Mobile Park, looking for the sweep today, but they're watching their team early on down 2-0. Before the game, it was sunny. It's now become overcast. A lot going on today. It's Mariner Moose birthday. It's Bark at the Park. We got a lot of dogs up in the left field upper deck area.
Four-legged fans, yeah.
A lot of pooches up there as Alex Bregman takes one inside for ball 1 to start the 4th. Astros so far through 3 have 1 hit against Gonzalez, an opposite field single by Michael Brantley. Marco's also walked a couple. Bregman fouls one back. It's 1-1.
Get one of those four-legged friends and put them on our laps to have a living heating blanket.
Yeah, it's been cool.
It's a little chilly, yeah.
It has been cool. We haven't checked in on the JMI yet today, but it's been pretty much the same for all 3 games, I would think. 56, 53, and 50 game time temperatures. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Today's Julian Morales Index, our JMI, is gray and dreary. Scarf and gloves needed today.
Ah.
I don't think it's going to get much warmer in Oakland, maybe a little bit. 1-2 pitch is fouled away.
I'm looking forward to the sun.
The heating pad's been in full effect this weekend, huh?
Yeah, that thing rocks. And blankets. I've collected so many blankets. People keep bringing them to me. It's great.
Like Astros fans just randomly drop off a blanket?
Yeah. Blanket drive down here.
He's got a second suitcase of nothing but blankets.
Here's the ball fouled. Out of play. You got to love the fact that Astros fans are either living here and bringing Julia a blanket, or actually packing an extra blanket for their trip to Seattle for Julia.
Yeah, are they Astros blankets or just generic blankets?
There's generic ones, but you know what? I've never seen all the Astros gear that I'm seeing here, because we don't wear hoodies in Houston.
Right.
There's a ton of Astros hoodies, sweatshirts, long sleeve shirts, stuff I've never seen before. Didn't even know that was available.
Well, thanks for the Astros fans for keeping you warm with those blankets. That's awesome. Bregman with a 2-2 count.
Just tired of seeing her suffer.
Alex pulls one foul.
A little better at bat from Bregman this time around. First time around he struck out. Didn't look like he was picking up the ball out of Marco Gonzalez's hand. This one a little bit better. Seeing the ball a little bit better this time around.
Bregman gets under this one on the infield. Dylan Moore makes the call. Puts it away. Alex 0 for 6 in this series now. And he's the first out of the 4th inning. Gonzalez became the first pitcher ever. A lot of this has to do with opportunity, because usually you don't get 2 starts in March. But he became the first pitcher ever in MLB history to have 2 wins in the month of March. Started that game in Japan against the A's, picked up a win, going 6 innings of 3 earned run baseball in their 9-7 win in their opener, and then came back and beat Boston on the 28th of March. Already making his 5th start. He's a perfect 5-0. There's only been one Seattle pitcher that's ever started 5 games to begin the year and won all 5 prior to Gonzalez. And as he makes his bid today, Rick Honeycutt won his first 6 games for Seattle back in 1980. Brantley pops one up on the 1-0 pitch. This time Moore gives way to Tim Beckham, and the shortstop puts it away. A couple pop-ups this inning, 2 outs. I'll bring up Carlos Gonzalez. He walked his first time up. Astros with an off day tomorrow. They will get ready for a quick 2-game series against Oakland and then be on the road again with an off day on Thursday. They'll take on Texas for the weekend, but 3-city, 8-game trip with 2 off days sprinkled in. Correa to center field. Haniger is there. Gonzalez very efficient with his pitch count. He's sitting through 4 innings in the mid-40s. Back in Seattle. First of 3 trips here to the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Astros will be back in town for a couple of weekday series as the season progresses. Back here June 3rd through 6th for a 4-game series, a Monday through a Thursday. And then again, the last road trip of the season, the Astros stop into Seattle September 24 and 25. Edwin Encarnacion leads things off and swings through the 1-0 pitch. It's now 1-1. Encarnacion grounded out his first time up. You were talking about seeing Encarnacion as a young Cincinnati Red.
Yeah, you know, back then he was a third baseman playing a little first base, but everyone kept trying to get him to stay inside the ball, use the whole field. It wasn't until he went to Toronto and got in there with Jose Bautista. Bautista did the same thing early in his career. And they basically just said, you know what, stop trying to guide the ball. Just hit it hard. If you want to pull the ball, pull the ball. And now he's become one of the better home run hitters in the league, just like Jose Bautista did.
Active home run leaders, Pujols well out in front, but Encarnacion number 3 on that list. Nelson Cruz was here in Seattle last year.
And, you know, back then he was a good hitter, and you knew he had a little bit of power, but you could tell there was just something inside his head. It just wasn't clicking with whatever they were trying to teach, and it wasn't until he went to Toronto, and then all of a sudden, I mean, the light switch came on, and this guy just started dropping bombs left and right.
Gerrit missed with the slider. It's 2-2. Cole's allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, a home run in the first and back-to-back doubles in the third. Gerrit has struck out 6 through 3 innings. Doesn't get any take there from Encarnacion. Encarnacion with a good take on that 2-2 slider away.
Still doesn't look like Cole is completely comfortable on the mound. It looks like he's still kind of battling himself, not just the Mariners.
There's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball dotted up that Encarnacion swings through. Strikeout number 7 for Gerrit. League leaders are presented by Houston Methodist and Seattle Mariners with some new faces in their lineup this year, and they are all contributing.
Wow.
Edwin Encarnacion from the Indians, Domingo Santana from the Brewers, Jay Bruce changing leagues, Tim Beckham with the Orioles the last couple years. Only Freddie Galvis. That was every team in the major leagues, and 4 of the 5 top slugging percentages belong to the Mariners. Here is Jay Bruce. Bruce last year with the Mets batted .223 and hit 9 home runs. This year he's already hit 7 home runs in 57 at-bats, batting .175, but 9 of his 10 hits on the season have been extra base hits, 7 home runs and 2 doubles.
And those 4 guys in that graphic we just saw, that's a big reason why they're leading Major League Baseball in runs scored and home runs and all kinds of different offensive categories.
I was curious to see what this team looked like in person. They put together some impressive at-bats this weekend.
You know, one of the things AJ was telling us was that, you know, this team has a general hitting philosophy of really trying to lay off breaking balls. He said the Astros, they have more individual approaches. But this Mariners team, they really try and lay off spin early in counts.
Can't lay off the fastballs. Gerrit Cole at 97 gets a swing and a miss.
That's where he struck Bruce out his last at-bat with that high, I think it was 96-mile-an-hour fastball top of the zone. Jay was able to get a piece of that one.
Ball into left field, playable for Brantley. 2 away. But even yesterday, when Verlander dominated the Mariners, 6 innings, 2 hit, 1 run baseball, he had to leave after 6 innings because he was at 105 pitches.
Yeah.
Usually 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, you're not throwing 105 pitches. 11 strikeouts adds to that total.
Yeah, if you remember, he threw a lot of pitches in the first few innings. He another, like Gerrit has been today, wasn't completely comfortable on the mound until about the 3rd inning. Then he kind of really got on a roll. But it's nice when you have guys on the mound. You know, we're talking about Gerrit Cole not being comfortable on the mound. Dude's got, what, 7 or 8 strikeouts?
Yeah, 7 strikeouts of his 11 outs today. Never too shabby.
So to have somebody that's not quite right and still out there pretty much dominating except for the 4 hits and 2 runs.
And 71 pitches so far for Cole. It's a nice pitch on the inside corner after Beckham missed the first slider away, and Gerrit ahead 0-2. Beckham lobbed a single to center field his first time up. He is now hit in 16 of 17 games in his career he's played against the Astros. Cole, 2 strikeouts in the first, 2 strikeouts in the second, 2 strikeouts in the third. And a chance to pick up his 2nd strikeout this inning. He got him. Beckham tried to hold up. He goes around. That's 8 for Gerrit Cole through 4 innings. His best inning of the day, a 1-2-3-4. By AARP. Some numbers from the Astros hitters here at T-Mobile Park. Yuli Gurriel, since 2017, 309 average and a slugging percentage above 500. Very similar to Jose Altuve. George Springer has hit his share of home runs and has a pretty high slugging percentage as well.
Batting averages are good, but slugging percentages, especially for Yuli and Jose, just off the chart.
Let's see if Yuli can get things going here. This is possibly a good setup for him. He's riding a 4-game hitting streak. He's 4 for 10 now in this series with a slam. And the first time Marco Gonzalez retired him in 4 career at-bats was the last time when he lined out to right field. Gonzalez has been good so far. 4 innings of 1 hit, 2 walk baseball. He has retired 5 in a row. It'll be Yuli, Aledmys Diaz, and Max Stassi for the Astros down 2-0. Yuli off the plate. It's 1-1.
You know, this side of my my scorecard here, it's not nearly as cluttered as we like it.
Only
a lot of clean innings here.
Only 1 runner reaching as far as second base. That was Brantley. Got to 3rd in the first inning. Yuli pops one up. Tim Beckham backs up and makes the play for out number 1. I'll bring up Aledmys Diaz. Gonzalez was already out of the game at this point. Last time he faced the Astros in August here. Pitched into the 4th inning. Did not record an out in that 4th inning. And allowed 8 runs on 11 hits. Much different result today as he has been in command throughout. Aledmys Diaz had a chance against him last inning. With 1st and 3rd and 1 out. And Diaz hit into a double play.
The Astros got the first 2 runners on in Brantley and Correa that inning, but weren't able to capitalize.
Aledmys, after spending his first 2 years in St. Louis with the Blue Jays last year. The last year really his only true opportunity to DH. Cardinals would only have interleague games where they could DH, but he's never DH'd before today. Sends this one into right field, sending Jay Bruce back. Bruce still going back. He's at the wall, and he puts it away right in front of the wall. Diaz gave it a good ride to the opposite field. But Bruce tracked it down for the 2nd out.
Jay Bruce turning back the clock a little bit. Used to be one of the better right fielders in the game when he was in Cincinnati. Went a long way for this ball. That ball went a lot further than I thought it was going to off the bat.
And 2 outs, base is clear. That'll bring up Max Stassi. Max struck out his first time up on a cutter. This time he grounds one towards short. Beckham down to the ground with a backhand play, and his throw just gets Stassi in time. Nice play by the Mariners shortstop. 1-2-3 inning for Gonzalez in the 5th. He's retired the last 8, and we're halfway home with the Mariners leading 2-0.
Texas Power Pitcher is presented by your local Ford dealer. And Justin Verlander just last night, a little bit of a slow start at the beginning, but just 1 earned run, no walks, 11 strikeouts. And once he got into the groove of the game, once he got into the flow, there just weren't a whole lot of balls even put in play, much less hit hard. Just an outstanding outing by Justin Verlander last night.
Really was his best of the year of his 4 starts. As Omar Narvaez takes a called strike from Gerrit Cole in the 5th. Julia, he had to be pleased with that outing.
He was, and he gave some credit to the Mariners, too, and some of the at-bats and the way that they battled and got his pitch count up early, as Mike was talking about. But still, Verlander being able to finish and get the strikeout for a lot of those at-bats. And he said that it's because he didn't get frustrated. He just stayed with it. You have to keep making good pitches, and that's exactly what he did. He also tweaked a few minor things, and he doesn't like to go into detail on that, but the day before he played catch, and then he watched some video, and he said he was messing around in the clubhouse a lot, and guys were looking at him funny because he was trying to figure out what it was that felt good. And so he said from early on when he was in the bullpen warming up, he knew it would be a good day, so he's hoping to continue on and keep all of that with him as he moves on to his next start.
Yeah, and his next start should come against the Rangers, the first game of the weekend series, as Gerrit Cole faces D. Gordon here after a ground out by Narvaez.
I thought she was going to say he was thanking the Mariners for swinging and missing so much.
They battled him, though.
Early they did.
A lot of 2-strike foul balls throughout the game. And that's what the credit, to me, that was the most impressive thing about Verlander's outing. Bregman gives it a look, and this is near Julia. Look out, Julia. That literally almost hit her. You all right? She's good.
We need to start sending a glove down there with you.
Gotta check on Earl, though. There's nowhere to go.
Did he protect you?
I know. No, I'm able to read those a little bit better, guys.
You need a glove.
But I can't go anywhere. That's the problem. You're stuck.
You got like 8 blankets on top of you.
I know, and I've got so much weight.
D. Gordon with a count of 1-2.
I'm good, though.
Good. We're always concerned for your well-being. But Verlander yesterday, with all those 2-strike foul balls, still able to go 11 strikeouts and no walk. So he continued to make 2-strike pitch after 2-strike pitch, even with all those extra pitches needed.
Yeah, and the key to those were he was ahead in the count, because this Mariners team, they really work hard on not offering an off-speed pitch, especially breaking balls early in the count. So you have to be ahead of them if you're going to strike guys out. And Verlander was able to do just that. Get ahead and then put them away.
Tony Kemp crosses in front of Michael Brantley and puts that fly ball away off the bat of D. Gordon for out number 2. Well, now Gerrit Cole has his own run going, of 6 straight retired after the RBI double by Domingo Santana. So at the top of the order getting Cole today. Haniger a leadoff home run, and then Haniger with 2 outs doubling, followed by a double by Domingo Santana. Here's a 9-hitter Dylan Moore. Another one of those days, though, where Gerrit has not had any offensive support behind him. Astros have been stymied by Marco Gonzalez, who's thrown just 52 pitches in 5 innings of shutout baseball.
Yeah, and what Marco has done is, in those 52 pitches, he hadn't even thrown 20 fastballs yet. A lot of off-speed stuff.
2-0 the count to Moore. 26-year-old the Astros are seeing for the first time. Came into the game 4 for 21. And 6 swing and a miss. It's 2-1. Gerrit's fallen behind. He's been working mostly ahead of hitters tonight. Fallen behind the number 9 hitter here. 3-1. Swinging strike at 98. Well, Gerrit has definitely reached back and hit a couple to the 98 range. He has had good velocity as the game has gone along.
Yeah, we're not seeing that consistent velocity, but I think part of that, like I said earlier, is by design.
98 on the outside edge. Cole gets the call from the home plate umpire Todd Tichenor to end the inning. Dylan Moore caught looking. That's 9 strikeouts for Cole.
Brought to you by Nissan. Here are your clues. Who am I? Five Alive. Postman dropped the mic. You go to AT&T Sportsnet SW to cast your votes for naming that Astro.
1 year anniversary, traveling with the Houston Astros out here.
2,000 plus miles.
Hopefully they'll see a little offense soon. Marco Gonzalez has really limited the Astros. Tony Kemp, one of the few base runners, walked his first time up. Gonzalez through 5 innings has allowed 1 single to Michael Brantley and a couple of walks, and needed just 52 pitches to get through 5. 2 starts ago, Gonzalez pitched into the 9th inning against the Angels in his last home start. He pitched in Kansas City in his last start, but last time at home he pitched 8 1/3 innings of 4-hit 1-run baseball against the Angels. Threw 100 pitches in 8 1/3. Kemp into center field is now 3 for 3 in his career against Marco Gonzalez. He leads off the 6th inning with a single. See if this can get the Astros going. Kemp has been on base both times.
Kemp got a, looks like a little cut fastball up out over the plate. He is just so good at just putting the bat on the ball, not really trying to do too much. He does anything that AJ asks him to do, and one of the things he asks him to do all the time is anytime he gets a chance is to put up a quality at bat.
Here's George Springer taking a called strike.
And so we were talking about Marco Gonzalez's pitch count. He's basically about 30% fastballs, 30% changeups, just like the pie chart we saw earlier in our scouting report. And that's why it's so tough for the Astros, because you really can't keyhole them into one pitch and one count.
On that pie chart we showed you for the scouting report, it showed how low the OPS was against the cutter, so a rare hit against the cutter by Tony Kemp to start the inning.
Yeah, his fastball, which he's only thrown about 15 or 16 sinking fastballs. The OPS was much higher, and the same thing on the changeup. But that cutter's been a very effective pitch, running it in on those right-handers.
Up and into George. It counts 1-2.
And here's a look at that pie chart coming into today. This does not include today, but you can see those OPS. When he throws the fastball, a lot of times it gets hit hard. Same with the changeup. But that cutter, a 339 OPS is extremely low.
Well, so far it's been the left-hand hitters that what little damage has been done. The lefties are 2 for 3 against them with a walk. Michael Brantley and Tony Kemp 2 for 3 with a walk. The righties are 0 for 14 against them today. 0 for 13 against them today.
Yeah, he's been throwing that changeup. He's been mixing it up, getting them to look for the ball coming in on him, whether it's a fastball or the cutter. And then the changeup has been really good against those right-handers.
7 righties, 2 lefties in the lineup. Right-hand hitters still looking for their first hit. And Springer goes down swinging. That's 3 strikeouts for Marco Gonzalez. And 1 away in the 6th. Julia, what do you have?
Well, talking about Jose Altuve, his teammates are running out of things to say about the streak of home runs that he put up here the last 5-6 games and just how well he's been swinging it. And Jose, we've asked him a couple of times what has been the difference, and he says he's not trying to hit home runs, not really trying to look for certain pitches. He's just trying to look for a good pitch to drive, and it's turned into home runs. He also said he's been studying his swing a lot here these last 5 or 6 games. He said because the second you don't start you're not swinging it well, you want to get right back to what you were doing. So he's really paying a lot of attention, watching video after the games to see what's working for him right now.
Well, see if he can connect here. He's kind of in that zone where, and Gonzalez doesn't allow a ton of home runs, but when he does, it has happened more often third time through the lineup where he is now. Gonzalez last year allowing 17 home runs, 9 of them third time through the lineup. Also 9 of the 17 home runs allowed in pitches 51 through 75, and right now he's sitting at 61 pitches. Altuve has flied out to center and grounded out. There's a strike called. It's 1-1. Altuve tying the Astros record, hitting 4 home runs in a 3-game series against the Yankees, and now one of 4 Astros all time to hit a home run in 5 consecutive games. Trying to hold up. He does. 2-1.
You can see that right side wide open. You also see why the Mariners are shifting on Jose Altuve. But we know he's got the ability to inside out a ball and shoot that hole on the right side.
Gonzalez picks up the outside edge. It's 2-2.
Just a perfectly placed changeup on the outside corner after throwing the breaking ball down and in. Jose grimaced after that one, but that was a pretty quality pitch by Marco Gonzalez.
Upstairs, the count's full. Oh, Astros have only had 1 runner reach second base today. That was Brantley back in the second inning, who got to third after advancing on a line drive out by Yuli Gurriel. So, see if Tony Kemp's in motion here. Full count, 1 out.
Yeah, Jose's going to have to be very patient. Make sure he sees the ball first. Chances are this is going to be a changeup from Marco Gonzalez.
Kemp stays, and Altuve rips a base hit to left field. Kemp will go from first to second. Altuve with a hit for the Astros. 2 hits in the inning, after the Astros had just 1 hit coming into inning number 6.
One of the few mistakes Marco's made in the middle of the plate, and you can see on the strike zone there on the right, just right down the middle. Jose's still a little bit out in front, but able to shoot that left gap, that 5-6 gap in between short and third. Astros got something cooking here with 1 out.
See if Alex Bregman can get something done. He has struck out and popped up against Gonzalez. Bregman coming in was 4 for 6 with a double against Marco. Astros with just their 2nd runner in scoring position today. Their 2nd at bat with a runner in scoring position. Bregman sends one foul down the left field side. That's going to drift into the crowd. Bregman, who loves to hit on the field, the lone Astro today to take batting practice on the field. Everybody else worked in the cages.
Yeah, I played with Paul O'Neill, and Paul had to hit on the field every single day. Now, the problem with that was, even on days that hitting was optional, the rules at the time with the Yankees, it's optional for the hitters, but it's not optional for the pitchers. So we used to rag on Paul because he had to hit on the field every day, and we had to be out there and shag.
He was the only one.
And he was the only one. He just had to see, ball off the bat, run around the outfield a little bit.
That pitcher's rule does not apply here with the Houston.
No, it does not.
Bregman had a few coaches out there helping him out today. 1-2 the count.
I actually had a chance to catch up with Paul O'Neill when the Yankees were in town. He was broadcasting for the YES Network, and he still looks like he could go out in right field and probably hit about 280.
Fouled off the mask of Narvaez. Bregman stays in a 1-2 count. Alex came in riding an 8-game hitting streak into Seattle. Did not play on Friday. So far 0 for 6 in his 2 games. Into right field, shallow. Bruce a long run. He won't get there. That falls in for a hit. The bases are loaded. Alex Bregman drops in a single into right. 3 hits in the inning for the Astros. And the bases will be loaded with 1 out.
Tony Kemp did not get a great jump off of second base, so wasn't able to score on this flare down the right field line. It was up in the air quite a bit, but Jay Bruce, not nearly as fleet of foot as he once was. You can see this ball get inside on Bregman, but he's so good at keeping that barrel pretty flat to the ground. That's what allows him to keep this ball fair and not slice it foul.
Well, now it's Michael Brantley's turn, batting with the bases loaded. Brantley 1 for 2 with a single to left. Astros with their best threat of the day, down 2-0. Down low. 1-0 the count to Brantley. Two career grand slams for Brantley while a member of the Cleveland Indians. Both in the month of May, and both last year. Hit a grand slam against Texas May 1st, hit a grand slam against Kansas City May 11th. Ball hit hard, base hit right field. Tony Kemp will score. Altuve comes around third. He will be safe at home plate. 2-2 game. Brantley a 2 RBI single.
Well, you had said it earlier that the left-handers were the ones that are getting all the base hits. Now, he did get 2 right-handed base hits this inning, but a hanging breaking ball. And look how long he waits for this ball. Let the ball travel, hit the ball through the vacated right side. Jose Altuve with a great jump off of second base. Jay Bruce with a strong arm, but no play at the plate, with that throw being a little bit offline.
Brantley with his 10th and 11th runs batted in of the season for the Astros, and now first and third and 1 out in a tie game, and a little meeting between Narvaez and Gonzalez with Carlos Correa about to hit.
Yeah, and with this little bit of rally Astros have going on here in the 6th, Brandon Brennan now up in the pen for the Mariners. Look how quiet he is at the plate, and that's one of the things that makes him so good. What I mean by quiet is you don't see body parts going all over the place. The head is rock solid, never moving, even when he's off balance, and that's what allows him to get those hits when he's not completely on time. He was a little bit out in front of that, but because he's so quiet and calm at the plate, still able to get the barrel of the bat to the ball and drive it through the right side.
Now Carlos Correa bats. Brantley on first. Bregman the go-ahead run on third. And a check at first base here by Marco Gonzalez. Carlos walked in the second inning, flied out to center field his last time up. Little stall tactic with a couple throws to first base. They have not made a pitch yet to Correa. Now to the dugout comes the manager, Scott Service. This could be the end of Marco Gonzalez's day. Brandon Brennan just started warming up. And they weren't really worried about Brantley stealing a base. They were more concerned about getting some extra throws in for Brennan in the bullpen. So Gonzalez leaves after entering the inning with a one-hitter through 5. He's allowed 4 singles this inning. Leaves in a 2-2 game, and we'll tell you about the new pitch.
Bregman's iconic dugout stare has made its way to a bobblehead. 10,000 fans will get the exclusive Bregman Stare bobblehead presented by H-E-B Friday, April 26th, before the Astros take on the Cleveland Indians. For more information or to get your tickets for the game, visit astros.com/promotions.
No stares today. It's been all singles for the Astros, but they have bunched them together. 3 consecutive base hits, getting Marco Gonzalez knocked out of the game. And the Mariners go to their bullpen here with 1 out in the 6th inning for Brandon Brennan.
Hard throwing right-hander. In 8 games so far this season, has yet to give up an earned run. He's got some power stuff. You can see the walks to strikeouts is very good, 11-2. That's exactly what he's looking for what he's looking for right now is a ground ball double play to get the Mariners out of trouble in this inning.
Facing Carlos Correa, 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Correa pops a foul out of play. Brennan, 27-year-old, who's been leaned on heavily by Scott Service and the Mariners so far this year. He has already pitched in 8 games and has not allowed a run in any of those games. 10 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 11 strikeouts. Correa trying to drive in the go-ahead run. He led all of Major League Baseball with 11 sacrifice flies last year. Down the count here, 0-2.
Speaking of sac flies, this is our StatCast looking with Santana, Haniger, and Bruce in the outfield. Some pretty strong arms out there. Anything red line or closer to the infield, those are no-goes. Behind that, you got a chance with some speed at third base in Alex Bregman.
Called third strike, got him with the changeup. Carlos thought it was a little bit in. Brennan picks up a big out there, 2 away.
Well, there's something to be said about hitting your spots. And through the changeup, little tail on the inside. Whether it's off the plate or not, I don't think is really the point. I think that pitch is just too close to take and leaving it up to the umpire.
Brennan has the best command out of that bullpen. Leads all bullpen arms in strike percentage. First pitch strike. Yuli's usually pretty aggressive. We'll see how this plays out. Yuli looking for his first hit in this game. This is the changeup. Brennan throws a lot of changeups, not afraid to throw righty on righty changeups either.
Yeah, he's got good movement down and in with that kind of low 3/4 arm angle. And you mix that with a low mid-90s fastball, can be a very effective pitch dipping down below the bat.
Astros tying up the game against Marco Gonzalez, but Scott Service going to one of his bread and butter arms out of the bullpen this year. Brennan was a Rule 5 pick from the Colorado Rockies. Rockies signed him as a minor league free agent in November. Then 1 month later, he was selected by the Mariners when the Rockies didn't have him on their 40-man roster. He was selected in the Rule 5 draft.
So far, so good on that draft. My goodness.
There goes the runner, swing and a miss by Yuli. Stolen base for Brantley, his 2nd on the season. Well, 5 pitches out of the bullpen, 5 strikes for Brennan.
Yeah, and most of those have been on the changeup. And you look at it, you go, well, it's 83 miles an hour. That pitch was up, down the middle. Why can't you hit it? It's because of the arm speed. The arm speed looks like he's throwing a fastball. Then halfway in, it's like the ball drops the parachute, comes in at 83 miles an hour.
Tripled up on the changeup to Yuli. All changeups in this at bat to Gurriel. He Struck out Correa on a changeup looking. Yuli picked up his first base hit with a runner in scoring position on Friday night of this series when he hit a grand slam. He's got second and third here with 2 outs. And he goes down swinging. Astros score 2 in the inning and strand 2. Brennan, a nice job out of the bullpen. It's 2-2 headed to the bottom of the 6th. Foundation invites you to give back to the Houston community by joining the Volunteer Corps. The Corps takes part in various opportunities, including game day activities at the ballpark, craft parties at local hospitals, and much more. For more info and to sign up, visit astros.com/volunteer. Mitch Haniger has been a problem for Gerrit Cole today. A home run and a double leading off the 6th inning. Cole starts the inning with 87 pitches. And with that in mind, the Astros have double barrel action going in their bullpen as the inning begins. Haniger takes a pitch for a ball.
It looks like Ramin Gudwan and Josh James up in the Astros pen.
There they are. Gudwan has thrown a few pitches off the rubber. James just getting loose. And Cole has fallen behind Haniger 2-0. Cole in a brand new ball game now was down 2-0 as he headed to the dugout in the 6th inning. Astros scoring 2 in the top half. There's a strike called. It's 2-1. 2 of the 5 hits allowed by Gerrit have been to Mitch Haniger. Haniger a home run to make it 1-0 in the first and also doubled in the third. This is outside, ball 3. Top of the order, Haniger, followed by Domingo Santana and Daniel Vogelbach in this inning. There is a strike with a fastball of 96. It's 3-2. He got him. Gerrit Cole, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, picks up his 10th strikeout of the day and gets Haniger for the first time this afternoon.
Changed the way he went about his business that time, Gerrit Cole did. Those first couple at-bats by Mitch Haniger, a lot of off-speed pitches. Ends up hitting a curveball for a home run, and then the double was on a changeup. He basically went with the old number 1 that whole at-bat and struck him out up in the zone.
Cole matching his season opening start against Tampa Bay with 10 strikeouts. That's his season high. Now facing Domingo Santana. Santana pops one high in the air, playable, foul territory. Yuli underneath it and puts it away. That was in the air for a long time. Well, 2 outs and Cole will face the designated hitter Daniel Vogelbach. Vogelbach 0 for 2 today. Jay Bruce 0 for 2. Omar Narvaez 0 for 2 and D. Gordon 0 for 2. Those are the lefties in the lineup for the Mariners today. Gerrit has held left-hand hitters so far this year to 4 for 33 with the 0 for 8 today. And that's nothing new. Last year he held lefty hitters down to a 162 batting average and had 160 strikeouts last year against left-hand hitters. 1-1 the count to Vogelbach. Vogelbach has struck out on the slider and the 4-seam fastball today, 0 for 2. Holds up on that pitch, it's 2-1. Check swing, another appeal, and another no swing, says Jordan Baker's 3-1. 98. Gerrit knows this very well could be his last inning. He's at 100 pitches, and he just amped up that fastball.
After the 2 breaking balls down, then goes to 98 at the top of the zone. Looks so good, except high rate of velocity.
Cole, third strike, outside corner. Cole with his 11th strikeout of the day, matching Justin Verlander yesterday with 11 strikeouts, a 1-2-3-6. He's retired the last 10. Falls on a comparison between 2017 and 2019. In 2017, the Astros went the first 8 games without scoring more than 5 runs, which was the longest streak until this year when they started the first 8 games without scoring more than 5 runs. And Mike, you have seen identical numbers in the first 15 games.
In almost every category. Yeah, 2019, the offense has been a little bit better, but that's uncanny.
Let's hope for a
Look
similar.
at the ERA. That's crazy.
Can we get a similar end result?
You mean with a trophy and a ring?
Yeah.
Is that really too much to ask? I don't think so.
Let's have a little sense of deja vu this year. Aledmys Diaz will lead things off for the Astros in the 7th inning. Brandon Brennan back out there after striking out 2 his last inning. And Diaz rips one to left field. Looking up, Santana. This ball is gone! Aledmys Diaz gives the Astros a 3-2 lead with a line drive home run to left. Diaz's second home run as an Astro.
I guess he should have thrown him a changeup. 5 in a row to end the inning. That was the first pitch fastball. 94 sinking down and in on Aledmys Diaz. And Diaz just simply not missing it whatsoever with a line drive home run right down the left field line.
That is the first run allowed by Brandon Brennan in 11 1/3 innings pitched. Now Max Stassi will bat. That's also the first hit for Aledmys Diaz on the road this year. He had a good homestand, 4 for 9 with a home run, but he was 0 for 11 on the road this year. And now a big line drive home run to give the Astros their first lead.
All right, for everyone out there that wants to know how hard he hit it, 109.9 miles an hour.
Oof.
359 feet. Only 18, when I said it was a line drive, 18-degree launching.
That thing got out in a hurry. So the first run ever allowed by Brandon Brennan in the major leagues gives the Astros a 3-2 lead. Brennan in his rookie year had been phenomenal for Scott Service, and now Max Stassi bats. Stassi sends one to right field. Jay Bruce going back. He'll have a play on this one on the warning track. And Stassi retired for the first out.
Well, here's that swing by Aledmys Diaz. You see where the location is, dropping down and in. I mean, it's a 2-seam fastball. That's kind of where he wants to throw it, but Diaz did a nice job of dropping the barrel of the bat onto the ball. 18-degree launch angle means it better have some backspin, and that had just enough to get over that left field wall. What a nice swing.
Diaz last year 18 home runs for the Toronto Blue Jays. More than likely won't end up with as many at-bats as he had last year for Toronto, but he's got some pop. As he hits his second home run, here's Tony Kemp. Tony on base a couple of times today, a walk and a single. He would score a run last inning. So Gerrit Cole, who worked himself through 6 innings, left in a tie game, but now has a 3-2 lead. Probably will not be out there for the bottom half of the 7th inning. Finally getting a little bit of run support. Looking for his first win of the year. Hector Rondon now warming up for the Astros in the 3-2 game. It was James earlier in the year. Kemp takes a strike. It's 2-1. Aledmys Diaz had never been a DH before today.
Well, not really your prototypical DH. You know, he's kind of a utility type player, but hadn't been in there in a while, and he's supposed to play third base. But Bregman didn't really do a whole lot yesterday.
Kemp hooks one down the line, foul.
And so AJ changed his mind, put Bregman in the lineup playing third base, and put Diaz in the DH spot.
Julio, how about Aledmys?
You know, I was talking to him today. You just mentioned the DH thing for him, and I asked, how has it been not being able to play every day? How do you stay sharp? And he said, it's been really tough, actually. I've come from places where I play every day, but what's helped him is A.J. Hinch communicating to him, telling him days in advance what the plan is for him, when he's going to be in there. And I told you a couple of days ago, the way he stays ready during games he's not playing. He's always in that cage, trying to look at breaking pitches as well. So for him, that's been the biggest key.
Nice play by Santana as Kemp retired for the first time. See a Ledmus, who is from Cuba, doesn't exactly like the Seattle cold, so as a DH you have the ability to put on the heavy jacket and the cap in between at bats.
Yeah, you would think I think there's a lot of people think that being a DH is easy. You just go up there, you hit 4 times. But most of these guys are used to playing every day. And so now you have to figure out what to do with all that downtime in between the ABs. And it's really a player-specific situation. Some guys like to stay on the bench, really concentrate. Other guys like to get away with it. Guys go in the cage, watch video, whatever it may be. But it's just not that easy to be kind of a part-time player.
Springer looking for his first hit of the game. Sends one towards the middle. Beckham charges and makes the play against George by less than a stride. After the leadoff home run allowed by Brandon Brennan, he gets the next 3 batters, but the Astros take the lead. Aledmus Diaz with his second home run of the season. A solo shot, a line drive home run to left field. And the Astros lead for the first time 3-2. Allowed a home run to the first battery base, but after that, he was very good today.
Yeah, he really was. And this is one of those days that we actually thought that he really wasn't feeling all that well, but 11 strikeouts, did a really nice job of mixing in the breaking ball, and ended up getting on a nice roll to end his day. A lot of high-quality fastballs, moving it around, but I really thought that the use of the breaking ball was something, especially early in this outing, he was really trying to do and did quite effectively.
Gerrit Cole goes 6 innings of 2-run, 4-hit baseball, turns it over to Hector Rondon. Edwin Encarnacion, first pitch swinging, fouls one back. Rondon taking over in this 3-2 game. Astros winning game 1 10-6. Yesterday was a pitcher's battle, 3-1 final with Justin Verlander on the mound. And today Cole leaves with a 3-2 lead. Encarnacion takes a strike. It's 0-2.
Hector has been very good for A.J. Hinch so far here in 2019. Last time he pitched was just a couple days ago. He went an inning and 2/3 on the 12th. To help the Astros get that first win of this series. High velocity fastball, mid-upper 90s. Nice breaking ball.
Just missed the top of the zone. It's 2-2. Hector will face Encarnacion, Jay Bruce, and Tim Beckham in this inning. Bruce has a lot of at-bats against Rondon in their time in the National League. After getting ahead of Encarnacion 0-2, it's now a full count.
So, Todd, if I did the math right, the last 2 starters, we won't say their names, for the Houston Astros, 22 strikeouts, no walks.
Correa deep in the hole, makes the throw on a bounce for the first out. I'm not sure if Bregman didn't see that, but he didn't react very quickly, and Correa ended up making the play.
And then that strong throw across the infield. But here's those numbers. Just 3 earned runs in 12 innings. And you wonder why. These are 2 of the best pitchers in the American League. 22 strikeouts, no walks. I know I'm repeating myself, but those numbers are ridiculous.
Unbelievable. Against a team that's really patient. You mentioned not chasing spin.
Right.
And fouling off a lot of 2-strike pitches.
And the best offense in Major League Baseball so far this year.
By far. Jay Bruce sends one high in the air to shallow center field. So shallow that Carlos Correa is there. Carlos fakes the first 2 plays of this inning. This week on Astros Bases Loaded, the bats heat up at Minute Maid Park, and Colin McHugh jumps back into the rotation without missing a beat. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded after the postgame show today, only on AT&T Sportsnet. Busy day today for sports on AT&T Sportsnet. Astros Mariners postgame show, Astros Bases Loaded, Rockets pregame show.
Rockets.
Postseason action. We've got everything. Here's Tim Beckham. Beckham fouls one back. Well, I think everybody around the league was curious as to what was going to happen this weekend. You had the 13-2 Mariners coming in with a 6-game winning streak. You had the surging Houston Astros coming in off back-to-back sweeps of the A's and the Yankees at home. And so far, the Astros have answered with a 10-6 win, a 3-1 win, and now leading 3-2. Hector Rondon trying to work through the seventh.
Yeah, doing it a little bit differently today with a pretty good pitcher's duel between Marco Gonzalez and Gerrit Cole.
A.J. Hinch said pretty much everybody, with the exception of Brad Peacock, was available out of his bullpen today. So if that's the case, then usually the formula, and we addressed this in our little pregame talk-up, usually the formula is Presley 8th, Osuna 9th if you get there with the lead, and Rondon trying to get them through the 7th with the lead. Beckham stays alive on a foul ball. Looking at the bullpen usage coming into today, Brad Peacock throwing 45 pitches, going 3 1/3 innings Friday. That's why he's probably down. Devo threw a lot of pitches that night as well. And James, Rondon, and Goudouin had not been used since Wednesday. 2-2. And the count's gone full. Other teams in the AL West in action today. Oakland had a 7-3 lead in their game in Texas, but the Rangers have answered with 5 straight unanswered runs and now lead 8-7 in the 9th inning. The Angels had a game scheduled for Wrigley Field today against the Cubs, and they were snowed out of that game.
That's a big rivalry, by the way.
Angels Cubs.
Yeah.
Snow at Wrigley. Called third strike. Rondon, a 1-2-3 inning, freezes Beckham to end the 7th. Astros lead 3-2. We head to the 8th inning, and the Astros will have Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, and Michael Brantley due up out first. For T-Mobile's connection to the game, news and notes from around the league. Francisco Lindor begins a rehab assignment tomorrow. Yuli's younger brother, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., 5 for 13 in his last 7 games. Fernando Tatis Jr., 5 home runs already this season. Robbie Cano off to a little bit of a slow start in New York. Those are your news and notes from around baseball.
Yeah, we know the Cleveland Indians cannot wait to get Francisco Lindor, one of the best players in the league. You know, that's a team that's really strapped for offense, and they are top heavy to say the least in their lineup. So he is a huge part of them scoring runs. That doesn't even mention him defensively.
Indians start the day a game and a half behind the Twins in the AL Central, tied with the Tigers. So far, we're 2.5 weeks into the season. Mariners were the early story this year, out to a 13-2 mark. Have lost the first 2 games of this series, and Corey Guerin takes over for them here in the 8th.
This will be Corey's 9th game here early in the season. You can see the elevated ERA, mostly a sinker slider guy. Going to throw the ball in the low 90s with the fastball, and then the slider's going to be about 83, 84 miles an hour.
2-3-4 for the Astros. Jose Altuve, a single and a run scored his last time up. Jose Shea takes a called strike. Gerrit pitched against the Astros Friday, faced the bottom third of the order. Now he gets the guys right in the middle. Altuve 1 for 3, Bregman 1 for 3, Brantley 2 for 3 today.
You know, one of the things that makes Gerrit effective in the past is he picks up his leg and then he's got a little hesitation and then he kind of jumps at the hitters. Can be hard to repeat a delivery like that, but there does add a lot of deception to the hitter.
Now Altuve with a hit in his last at bat, now a 7-game hitting streak. Hitting close to 500 during that streak. He has that season average sitting right at 333 with his 1 for 3 today. Gerrit last year spent time with 3 different teams. The Giants, where he had been from 2015 all the way through part of last year, then the Rangers and Oakland. Outside for a ball, 2-2. Rangers wrapped up their game against Oakland, came from behind to defeat the A's 8-7. So the Rangers back to 500 on the year, and the A's will enter their series against the Astros with a record of 10-9. Oakland will have their first day off tomorrow. They got rained out last night in Texas, but their first scheduled day off tomorrow after playing 16 in a row and then the rain out yesterday. Altuve goes down swinging, misses the slider. Gerrit picks up strikeout number 1 in the 8th.
Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to stream live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Now the 32-year-old will face Alex Bregman. Bregman a single to right his last time up. Alex takes a strike.
So you said Oakland's first day off, scheduled day off, is tomorrow.
Yeah, they went to Japan, had the 2 games against the Mariners,
right.
Then came back and had 18 straight on their schedule from opening day part 2 until today, although they were rained out last night.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
because the Astros 4 days off just in the month of April.
2 on this road trip.
And Thursday.
Tomorrow
last
and
Thursday.
Yeah, and last Thursday before the trip started.
So yeah, the Astros have yet, if I remember correctly, they have yet to play a full week in a row.
They played those first 7 games, 4 in Tampa Bay, 3 in Texas.
Okay, and then an off day.
Then an off day.
Yeah.
They started on a Thursday and wrapped up the series against Texas on a Wednesday. So kind of one week lapping over to the other. 2-1 the count to Bregman. So here we are 2.5 weeks in. I would say, the Mariners are probably one of the bigger surprises on the year. And
sure.
Also in the East right now, Boston and the Yankees off to a slow start, and Tampa Bay is 12-4 with their win today.
Well, Boston, for people that don't pay attention to the East Coast bias, they started off with 11 on the road. And in those 11, they did not play well at all. Starting pitching has been a problem. The bullpen has been okay. They haven't been scoring runs. And there's a lot of people that think, I know it's early in the season. What did you say earlier? We're 10% through the season?
Yeah, 10%.
But that think that the Boston Red Sox might be in trouble.
Bregman with a count of 3-1. And that's down low for ball 4. Bregman on base for a second consecutive time. Well, the Orioles have allowed 105 runs, most in the American League. Second most runs allowed, Boston Red Sox at 98. That? Red Sox are 6-10. The Yankees with a loss today are 6-9. Baltimore 6-10, and Toronto's 5-11. They're all looking up to Tampa Bay with a 5.5 game lead in that division.
So Tampa's the only one in the division that's over 500?
And significantly over.
Oh, there you go.
In 16 games, the other edge of that coin, or the other edge of the spectrum, is that the Rays have only allowed 40 runs in 16 games.
Well, we saw that to start off the season, their pitching staff.
Brantley hits it hard, but a one-hopper to D. Gordon, who will flip to Beckham, and they were able to turn the double play. Well, Brantley hit it hard, but right at the Mariners' second baseman. We head to the bottom of the 8th in a one-run game.
On social media, from in-game highlights to exclusive player interviews, find us on Facebook, Twitter, and our new Instagram account for the latest on the Astros all season long. TK.
All right, Julia, on we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Astros with a 3-2 lead here in Seattle. And their 8th inning specialist is Ryan Pressly.
33-year-old right-hander. High velocity fastball slider curve combination. Pitched the 8th inning last night through a grand total of 14 pitches. This will be his 7th game on the season. We talked about in the pregame. This is kind of the formula for the Astros. Pressly gets the 8th, and if he gets through it unscathed, chances are we'll see Osuna in the 9th.
We saw Pressly warm up Friday, did not get into the game, and then he pitched last night, faced the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Ryan Healy, D. Gordon, and Malik Smith. Here he gets 7, 8, 9. Narvaez, Gordon again, and Dylan Moore. Narvaez swings the first pitch, sends one to center. New center fielder in the game for the Astros, Jake Marisnick, who made 2 outstanding plays yesterday. That one relatively easy for the first out of the 8th. Jake helped save that game yesterday for the Astros in a 3-1 win with a couple of plays.
Yeah, there was one in right center field that he went a long way to get and caught right up against the wall in right center field. And he is just so good. It's all, he's got good speed, but it's all about that first step quickness and the read he gets off the bat. It is just tremendous. Makes him one of the best defensive center fielders in Major League Baseball.
Robbed Ryan Healy in the right center, and then robbed Domingo Santana in just shaded towards left center, the deepest part of the ballpark in that wedge in deep center field. Here's D. Gordon, who has flied out a couple of times to center. So Marisnick takes over for Tony Kemp and will bat 9th.
Goodness.
Like that curveball?
Oh, it is so hard with so much depth. Then you put it in that location, you just have no chance if you're hitting.
Pressly struck out Gordon yesterday when they matched up. This one down in innings, 1 and 2.
You know what's crazy about Pressly? He's actually got 2+ breaking balls. That last one, 91-mile-an-hour slider. It's not a cutter, it's a slider. And then the pitch before was the curveball. You mix that with the high 90s fastball.
Slowly hit to first. Yuli makes the play in fair territory and steps on the bag. That's out number 2. Yuli wanted to make sure he kept the ball fair, and there's 2 outs.
It's time to name that Astro, brought to you by Nissan. Here were your clues. 5 Alive, Postman, and Drop the Mic. And the answer is, who else? Carlos Beltran. Homered in 5 straight games in 2004. 2004 postseason was an absolute beast. And then retired after the World Series title in 2017.
What a way to go out.
You got love his reaction after they won the World Series, and all the emotion showing up. And he was a huge part of that team. Even if he didn't do a whole lot on the field, what he meant to the team in the clubhouse and in the dugout, you can't even measure that stuff.
Absolutely. Malik Smith will pinch hit here for Dylan Moore. Swings through the first pitch, a fastball for strike 1. Moore 0 for 2. A couple of strikeouts today on some tough pitches. Now Smith behind in the count, 0-2.
By the way, that last play by Yuli Gurriel at first base, that is not nearly as easy as it looks. With the ball rolling straight down the line, trying to get the bag at the same time. Did a nice job after not picking it clean, not panicking, and just picking up the ball with the foot on the bag.
Gerrit Cole ended his outing today, 6 innings of work, by retiring the last 10 Seattle Mariners he faced. Had 6 strikeouts of those 10 he faced, and then Hector Rondon, a 1-2-3-7, striking out 1. Now Ryan Pressly working to Malik Smith with 2 outs and an 0-2 count. All 4 of the Mariners hits coming in the first 3 innings. Haniger solo home run. Tim Beckham a flare single in the second inning. And then Haniger and Domingo Santana back-to-back doubles in the third. Upstairs from Presley, it's 2-2. $30,000 the first couple of games here for this series against the Astros. Today, $29,237. Try to hold up. He goes around. The ball gets away. Smith's going to run, and Stassi makes the throw to first. Ryan Presley ends the inning with a strikeout. He has now gone 28 consecutive outings without allowing a run. Paul, we asked you to pick between three videos of catches, Correa, Marisnick, or Berkman, and it was this catch by Jake Marisnick out-leaping Josh Reddick that garnered the most votes, 47%. Berkman up on Towles Hill got 37% of the vote, and Carlos Correa climbing the ladder here in Seattle, 16%.
Yeah, if I remember, that was late in the game also, so there was it wasn't just about the catch, it was also about the situation. But that's one of the reasons why we love Jake, is that he gets out there in the outfield. He's so aggressive, but he's also just so good at making outstanding plays. He just, no regard for his own personal safety. Just go out there and do whatever you can do to help this team win.
We could probably do a future Stroh poll with just Jake catches against each other.
Yeah.
New pitcher for the Mariners in the ninth inning. Astros leading 3-2, Anthony Swarzak.
33-year-old right-hander, another guy that has yet to give up an earned run. This will be his fifth game of the season. He's going to go four-seam, two-seam fastball with a slider. Going to spend his time in the low to mid-90s.
He has thrown the slider, at least in the early part of the season, much more than the fastball. Starts off Carlos Correa with a slider for a strike. It'll be Correa, Yuli Gurriel, and Aledmus Diaz. Diaz the difference in this game with a line drive solo home run in the seventh inning. Gave the Astros their first lead of the game at 3-2. Another slider, and Correa misses that. It's 0-2. Swarzak, a guy that spent a lot of his time with the Minnesota Twins last year with the New York Mets, acquired in that Robinson Cano deal. Spending his first season here with the Mariners. Correa rips one into right center field. Well hit. Bruce looking up, and this ball's off the fence. Carlos Correa digging for second. He will get there with a leadoff double. Correa, a line drive double to right center to start the ninth.
Well, the reason he Swarzak throws so many sliders is because it's effective. Unless you hang it out over the plate after throwing several to Carlos Correa. And what just a nice piece of hitting. Location elevated just a little bit out over the plate. And Correa really thinking about opposite field, letting that ball travel. Almost hitting an opposite field home run. That ball hit about halfway up the wall.
Carlos continues to hit the ball hard this year. That's his 12th base hit, or 12th struck baseball at over 100 miles an hour on the season. Here's Yuli Gurriel looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3.
Yeah, those numbers state it, but Correa's hit the ball hard all season. I feel like he's among the league or team leaders in that category, just squaring the ball up almost at will.
You've got Carlos Correa and George Springer right at the top of your average exit velocity this year. That last one was 109.8. He's hit 2 at over 112 this year. So Yuli looking to have a productive at bat here as the Astros will try and tack on a run in this 3-2 game. Roberto Osuna warming up in the Astros bullpen. And Yuli rips one to D. Gordon at second. He makes the catch. Yuli trying to use that right side of the field to advance. Correa hit it hard, but hit it too close to the Mariners' second baseman.
That's 2 by Yuli. Hit right on the screws today.
Got some tough luck for Yuli Gurriel today. T-shirt Tuesdays presented by DraftKings are back. Get your exclusive Astros design T-shirt every Tuesday night home game for just $10 with a new design every week. You won't want to miss out. To purchase your special T-shirt and to see the upcoming design, visit astros.com/T-shirt. Yuli hit that ball over 100 miles an hour, but doesn't have anything to show for it. Here's Aledmys Diaz. Diaz hit a rocket his last time for that line drive home run.
Speaking of that home run, here's the StatCast numbers on the Aledmys Diaz home run. 109.9. I'm giving him 110 miles an hour. That 18-degree launch angle is really what you didn't know whether it was going to get out of the ballpark, but just enough backspin to carry over the wall and left.
Diaz started the day grounding into a double play his first time up, then hit a deep fly ball for his second at bat. It was caught by Jay Bruce on the warning track. Then the line drive home run you just saw. Now a chance for Aledmys to add to his afternoon with Correa on second base and one out. This is the slider. Counts 1-2. Swarzak has thrown 7 of 9 sliders so far in this inning. Chopper off the plate. Two-hopper to the new third baseman, Healy, and he makes the throw in time. Ryan Healy making the play for out number 2. Make sure to stay tuned for the Astros postgame show presented by Whataburger. Butch Alcindor and Brian Bogusevic with the hosting from the studio. The Astros looking to continue their streak. Jose Altuve and George Springer had personal streaks, and of course the team winning streak. The road trip will continue with the off day tomorrow and then into Oakland. And post-game sound from the Astros clubhouse. All that coming up on the Astros post-game show following the game. Well, here's Max Stassi, who will bat with 2 outs. Stassi looking for his first hit, 0 for 3.
He said we need the lineup to turn over to get Springer and Altuve back up. See if they can continue those streaks.
As Springer's reaching base streak is in jeopardy, and so is Altuve's home run streak. When Ryan Pressly struck out Malik Smith to end the 8th, it was the 7th consecutive inning. Astros pitchers have ended the inning with a strikeout. Every inning but the first. Cole had 11. Rondon had 1, and Pressly with 1. Stassi chops one off the plate. It's 1-1.
The Astros struck out 13 last night, with Verlander striking out 11.
Yeah, Verlander had 11. Pressly had 1, and Osuna ended the game with his lone strikeout. So back-to-back 13 strikeout games, plus we'll see Osuna in the 9th. A little bit low from Swarzak. The count's 2-1. Swarzak, the 3rd pitcher out of the bullpen for the Mariners. Mariners have completely revamped their bullpen this year. Mentioned Brandon Brennan earlier, Rule 5 pick. Corey Guerin coming over in his first year with Seattle. Swarzak's new to the team. Sadzek, who pitched last night just over from Texas in early April this year. Malinese made his major league debut on Friday. Only just 1 or 2 arms from last year still in that bullpen for the Mariners. Sean Armstrong, we saw the first game. He had been with the Mariners last year. 2-2 the count to Stassi.
Well, they lost, last year the back end of their bullpen was really one of their strong suits. With Colomé and Diaz, both of those guys are gone.
Called third strike. Stassi looking at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. We're going to head to the bottom half of the ninth inning. It's a 3-2 game. Roberto Osuna says, I need one more warm-up pitch until I'm ready. He'll face the top of the order. Mitch Haniger, Domingo Santana, and Daniel Vogelbach.
Brought to you by TXU Energy, a scoreless 8 for Ryan Pressly. Now scoreless in his last 28 games, 25 2/3 innings pitched. And then, of course, he hands the ball to Roberto Osuna. Roberto Osuna today has also done a really nice job. But Pressly, who's been nailed since he's put on that Astros uniform a season ago. And Pressly was even told coming into this season, be ready for whatever, whenever. Be versatile, and he has. But here recently, we've seen this formula, this combo, Pressly-Osuna, because that's the way game's been going for the Astros, TK.
Yeah, they've turned into one of the best back ends of the bullpen in all of baseball, even if people don't really recognize the names. Pressly has just been incredible since putting on this uniform, and we're starting to see the real Roberto Osuna. I think last year, you got to remember, he had the suspension. When he came over, he hadn't pitched very many games, but we're starting to see the hesitation. We're starting to see him comfortable on the mound, moving the ball all around with all different off-speed pitches that he has. And we're starting to see the velocity tick up also.
Osuna will face the same first two batters he faced last night. He came on for the save in last night's game in a 3-1 contest and faced Mitch Haniger, Domingo Santana, and Jay Bruce. Last night they were the 2-3-4 hitters. Today it's Haniger, Santana, and Vogelbach, the first three hitters. Haniger has scored both runs for Seattle today. A home run to start the game against Gerrit Cole, and then he doubled and came around to score on a Santana double in the third. Struck out his third time up. One of Gerrit Cole's 11 strikeouts on the day. 2-1 the count. Chopped off the plate. Bregman will glove. Quick transfer throw. Not in time. We're going to get a review on this one, I think. Mitch Haniger on a close play. Called safe by the crew chief, Phil Cuzzy, at first. AJ's going to want to have them look at this again. I think by the naked eye, he looked out, Mike.
Yeah, I thought so, too. And Bregman just put his fist up, pumping like he feels like he was out also. What a great play by Alex. This play was so difficult because it was a high chopper. But he came in and gloved it, and here's the play at first base. See the stretch by Yuli. That ball looks like it's in the back of the glove.
Good stretch by Yuli.
I think the key to this is not just the stretch by Yuli, but the timing of the stretch. You notice he was stretching as the ball was coming, didn't get way out there. But bang, bang play there at first base.
Overturned. He's out. Quick review in New York. The Astros get that overturned, and there's one away and the base is empty.
Mitch Haniger didn't want to go.
He
was staying on first base.
Big swing by Santana. It's 0-1. Alex knew he had made the play in time for the out.
Well, he looked over at AJ, and as soon as he saw AJ say they wanted to review, that's when Bregman felt like, okay, we did get him, but this one's going to be overturned.
It was a great decision by Bregman. I think on the initial chopper, he was debating whether to barehand it or glove and transfer quickly, and he chose the glove, and it worked out on the bang-bang play. Osuna had 0-2, and Santana hits one deep to right field towards the corner, slicing. This ball goes just foul, nearly tying up this game.
The old school rule on a ball like that to Bregman is if the ball is stopped or slow rolling, then you use your bare hand. If not, if the ball's rolling, you use your glove. But if he doesn't use his glove right here, it is really a do-or-die play. He made the right play going with the glove, quick transfer, making the throw on the run. He is so good at throwing on the run. He's almost better throwing on the run sometimes than he is when he actually has the routine play and has a chance to think about it.
just missed the inside edge. 1-2 to Santana. Santana hitting one about 350 feet down the right field line. Fortunately for the Astros, it's sliced foul. Yesterday, Santana grounded out, facing Osuna in the 9th inning.
Get to the park early for the April 22nd Astros-Twins game, as 10,000 fans will receive a George Springer replica orange jersey presented by Coca-Cola. For tickets and information, visit astros.com/promotions.
Two and two the count. Osuna has worked now in 6 of the last 7 Astros games.
You know, one of the things that makes Roberto so tough is he's got the powerful fastball and the power breaking stuff, but he pitches like a starting pitcher. What I mean by that, change-ups.
Called third strike. He throws Santana big out number 2.
Cutters at the top of the zone. That's what that pitch was right there. He really throws so many different pitches, but as a closer, that's just not something you see a whole lot of. See that one just nicked the top of the zone with the high cutter. And again, to me, it's not really if it's in the zone, if it's in the white box or not. That pitch is just too close to take when you have 2 strikes.
Now Daniel Vogelbach batting with 2 outs and the base is cleared. Fouls one away. Astros pitching with 14 strikeouts on the day. Going back to Gerrit Cole getting the last out in the 3rd inning. The Astros have now sent down 18 straight. Osuna trying to cap it off, facing Vogelbach. This is outside, 1-1. There's a strike. It's 1-2.
And here's what I'm talking about with Osuna. I mean, you don't just see closers moving a cut fastball around like that, just painting the outside corner.
Little hesitation, and he misses outside. We'll go back 0 for 3 today. Came in hitting .483 in his last 8 games. Edwin Encarnacion is on deck. Called third strike. Astros sweep the Mariners. Roberto Osuna saves all 3 games, and the Astros finish it off by retiring the last 19 Mariner batters. The Astros have won their 9th in a row, their 3rd consecutive sweep, as they take care of a team that was 13-2 coming into this weekend series.
Well, we talked about it prior to the series. Something had to give. And what ended up giving were the Seattle Mariners. The Astros continue on their hot streak. 9 straight games in a row with the victory. And Osuna showing why Jeff Luhnow went out and got him late in the season last year.
Astros win it 3-2. They sweep the series. An off day tomorrow. We'll have more, including the postgame show, right after this.